Hey party people, Techno here, and what we are looking at today is an old Ilco brass-bodied padlock, so independent lock company. I don't know much about these locks other than Independent Lock Company, or Ilco, was founded in the early 1920s, and clearly they fulfilled government contracts. What we have here is a U.S. Navy padlock, procured by and used by the U.S. Navy. We also see that we have genuine pin tumblers stamped here on the bottom of the brass body, as well as hardened stamped into the steel shackle. And the only other markings on this lock, well, apart from the markings from use and age, tarnishing and corrosion, is the serial number here on the bottom of the lock, which is GN15446. And I don't remember or recall where I heard this, but I think GN stands for government number. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on that, but I believe that is a government serial number as well. Apart from that, what we have is a pretty standard 5-pin core, all standard pins. So we can kind of, I don't know if you'll be able to hear this, but 5 pins we can count. 3, 4, 5. I'm going to hold this up to the mic so you can hear that potentially better. And now we're just going to see what it takes to pick this old and pretty cool padlock open. To do that, I'm going to use a top of the keyway tensioner in 40 thousandths. And I'm also going to use my trusty Sparrow's Tron pick in 25 thousandths. So let's go ahead and see what we have. Nothing on 1, nothing on 2. 3 moves freely but stops at a point, so I'm going to leave that alone. It doesn't necessarily feel like it's binding. 4, however, does definitely feel to be binding. So we got a nice click out of 4 there. So moving on to 5. And 5 kind of feels binding, but I'm not getting a whole lot of feedback on that. And this core, I think, just from age and everything else, is pretty gunked up. So there's not a whole lot of feedback to be felt here. Okay, nice click out of 5. So I'm pulsing the tensioner right here just because these pins have a tendency to kind of get stuck in position, even though the only thing that is holding them there is just the friction of being in place. So making sure that those pin stacks fall back down whenever I play around with one of those pins. All right, so 5 was set, 4, back to 3. 3 feels pretty solidly locked in place now, so let's bypass that. 2 is binding. Little click out of 2. 1 is also binding. Little click out of 1. And you can hear kind of how anemic that spring was there, popping that shackle open. This lock has definitely served its time and is now well retired. So also we can see that we have a spring-loaded locking pawl right here for the shackle. Probably shimmable, although I haven't tried to shim this just because I don't want to mar it up too much. I don't want to mess up that old aesthetic patina that it has. But actually, that being said, even with the fact that that has the spring-loaded locking pawl, there isn't really a whole lot of gap between the shackle and the body there, and it doesn't have a whole lot of free movement either. So potentially shimmable, but hard to say how easy that would be to pull off. In any case, that's all for this cool old Ilco lock out of the collection. Until next time, I thank you guys very much for watching. Take care, and I will talk to you later.